It's been
Hey guys, today we are in Gallatin, Tennessee at Sumner Memorial Gardens, home of the grave of a guy that a lot of people said was a song's best friend, Harold Jenkins.
Better known as Conway Twitty.
Conway Twitty. So we're going to take you back there and show you where Conway is laid to rest. So are you ready, Bobby?
I'm ready.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll.
Before we visit Conway's grave, I'd like to share with you the former home of Conway, Twitty City. Now when Conway lived here, his fans would come here and he'd come out and meet them, sometimes put a show on. It's owned by the Trinity Broadcasting Network. Mike Huckabee. Hard to believe, years ago, guys, this place was packed with fans. See if we can see back in there to see his house. There it is. Conway's mansion. Used to be waterfalls out there, water running everywhere. Now it just sits empty. Conway would come out and stand on that top balcony and wave to his fans, come out here and sign autographs, just do all kind of things. Got it padlocked. Man, this is a shame. Put concerts on out here. Now up here, if I remember right, was a gift shop. So we can get back here a little bit to see a little more of the mansion. Now the reason no family lives here, because Conway died without a will. And his third wife, because he married his, I think his first wife twice, and the kids fought over all this. They had a big sale, sold it all. So fans like us guys can't enjoy it today. Would have been nice if they'd have just turned this into a museum. Conway was one of the biggest country artists of all time. I mean, this complex, the rest of it's still pretty well intact. But they shoot shows here. The Trinity Christian Network, or TBN, use these buildings, I'm assuming. Here's one of the entrances to the former Twitty City. And look, the sign is still there. So Conway probably went through there, punched in the security code. Used to be a little Tweety bird right underneath there. And there was the restrooms for all the fans that came out here. If we can see back in there or not. Well, can't really see. This is the back of Conway Twitty's house. Here are a few of the houses that he built for his family.
You want a man with the soul pain. You want a lover with an easy touch.
So when you enter this cemetery, you just want to come off the main road and just drive straight back. It's not real big, as you can see. It's not a real big cemetery. Just drive straight back and come all the way back to the mausoleum. Conway's going to be to the left, so let's walk back that way. So as you come to all the vaults, Conway is the last one on the bottom, all the way down here. Right there he is. So we are standing in front of Harold Lloyd Jenkins' vault.
And his great uncle gave him that name. Do you know why?
Yeah, I know why, and he's named after his great uncle's favorite silent film star. You know, by looking at this vault, one thing is missing. Doesn't say Conway Twitty on there.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't put that on there.
No, can't. But right down below his name is a little tiny plaque. It says the great entertainer Conway Twitty from the Elvis Pink Cadillac fan club. It's an Elvis fan club put that on here. Harold Lloyd Jenkins was born on September 1st, 1933 in Mississippi. Now, his name, did you know how he got his name, Bobby? Conway Twitty?
No, I'm not sure how he got that.
Well, he was out recording. He didn't really think Harold Lloyd Jenkins was a good name for stage name. So, road map. And he spotted Conway, Arkansas, and Twitty, Texas. That's how he chose the name, Conway Twitty.
That's pretty cool.
Now, since we're Elvis fans, there's like a little Elvis tie into this. Conway started recording music after he heard Elvis Presley's song, Mystery Train. So he started writing rock and roll songs. So he actually went to Sun Records to try to record, but none of those recordings ever came out. Now, he did in 1958, using his new stage name, record a song called It's Only Make Believe. And a lot of people thought that sounded like Elvis. People today still tell me that sounds like Elvis. It went #1 in 21 countries. I'll tell you guys something about Mr. Conway Twitty here. You know, when he first started, he sounded so much like Elvis, but one thing Conway did, it was signature to him, was to growl. What you guys need to do, you need to go back and listen to some of Conway's 50s songs. I think they're great. They never get played, but I think they're great. You got Danny Boy, Is a Bluebird Blue, Mona Lisa. I mean, just so many of them. So if you get a chance, make sure you go back and listen to those. And I bet you will see the similarities of Elvis. But listen for the growl. And he continued that his whole life.
In 1970, Conway had a big release called Hello Darling. Do you remember that one?
Oh, who doesn't remember Hello Darling?
And then in 1971, he released his first hit duo with Loretta Lynn called After the Fire Is Gone.
That's a good song. And they recorded a lot of good music together.
Yeah.
Something else about Conway. In 1973, Conway recorded a song called You've Never Been This Far Before. Now, by today's standards, it's not too bad, but back then, they wouldn't even play it on the radio. Thought it was too explicit. So listen to that song, guys, and see what you think. Now, in the 70s, Conway had 23 consecutive singles that all made it into the top 10, with 13 peaking at #1.
You may remember some of these, John. The Rose,
Oh yeah.
Slow Hand, Tight Fitting Jeans.
I love tight fitting jeans, like Slow Hand too. Now, Slow Hand is a song that people just went nuts when they saw Conway do that in concert. That was like a signature song, except Hello Darling. It's hard to top Hello Darling, but if you watch any of his old stuff, when he did Slow Hand, the women went crazy like they did for Elvis. Slow Hand was his 26th #1 hit. Now in 1985, Conway's song Don't Call Him a Cowboy became his 50th #1 hit, and he would have 5 more during the 90s. In 1981, Twitty was exiting his tour bus when he slipped on the steps and fell, hitting his head against the steps. Now it was said that when he did this, he said his mind was never quite the same. And even his daughter said he was never in the right state of mind for several months, saying in an interview that he picked up a TV remote and began talking into it, thinking it was a phone. That's sad.
On June 4th, 1993, Conway was in Branson performing on stage when he became ill. And then on the tour bus, he collapsed.
Yep, when he collapsed on the tour bus, he was rushed to the hospital where he underwent surgery because he had had an abdominal aneurysm. And guess who else was at the hospital that night? Loretta Lynn. She was there because her husband had underwent open heart surgery. But sadly to say, Conway passed away on June 5th, 1993.
He was only 59 years old.
59, way too young. This is such a peaceful place. It sits far enough off the road, you can barely hear the cars out here, but Bobby and I have been here for probably about a half an hour and nobody's come, so if you want to come here and pay your respects to Conway, probably gonna be here by yourself. And just in case you were wondering what the side looks like.
It is so peaceful out here, like John said. They actually have a wind chime right here by the tree.
It does
I
sound
love
pretty.
the sound of wind chimes.
Yeah, we've been listening to that wind chime. Let's take a quick peek inside this mausoleum. The door is kind of stuck. Now, if you're ever in the Nashville area, come out here to Gallatin, Tennessee, and pay your respects to Harold Lloyd Jenkins.
And I bet you a lot of people have walked past this grave, saw that name, and didn't realize that it was Conway Twitty.
I guarantee you. I mean, unless you're a big fan, you wouldn't know. And wish they would have just put it on there. But it took an Elvis fan club to put the little plaque on there for people to see.
So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe.
Yeah, so until we meet again,
J and B
have left the building.